Wi-Fi froze again.
Hello, everybody. We'll just give it a minute for everybody to get started. Daryl, hello, Daryl. Daryl says, Randy. Joe Bird said, hey, Pops. Hello, Joe Bird. John Deere said, what's up, everybody? Justin said, hello, buddy. Daryl said, Gabe. Carmen said, hey, hello. Jane said, hey, Pops. Daryl said, Jacob. Garage Rat said, Homer, hello. Daryl says, Carmen. Jane says, hi, Daryl. Daniel says, happy Friday. Hey, everyone. Daryl says, Jane. Jane says, hi, Joe. And John Deere says, hey, Daryl. Jane says, hi, Jacob. Don't know why that alarm just went off, but I didn't hear nothing. See what it shows. Jane said, hi, Carmen. John Deere said, what's up, Jane? For some reason, when the light's going down the road hits the card, it's flashing on my camera, turning it on. John just said, what's up, Jane? Jacob, Carlos said, what's up, y'all? Pops, whoop, hello. Kevin said, just got done with the gym, had a huge meal, now watching my favorite YouTuber, Life is Good. Yes, life is good. John Deere, what's up, Big Boy Toys? Gerald said, big. Nelson said, hello from Jackson, Mississippi. Well, hello, Nelson. Boy, you get around, don't you? Daryl said, Nelson. Carlos said, Jacob. Oh, Nelson, he's a traveling man. Carlos said, what's up, Daryl? Whoop. John Deere said, what's up, Nelson? Jane said, hi, Nelson. Jane says, hi, Carlo. I hope that's what she said. I took my glasses off. Can't see good. It's all fuzzy. Yep. Oh, I can see clearly now. The dirt is gone. Nelson going back to Atlanta tomorrow. Hi, Jane. Whoo. Like I said, that's a traveling man. He put some miles on the truck. Carlos says, hello, Jane. Nelson said, hey, Daryl. Carlos says, hey, hello, Nelson. Daryl's tapping in for twice on More Mac. Boy, I do appreciate it. Nelson said, "Hey, Big, we starting to get Gerald. Just to let you know, we starting to get things back on track. It's still a little off, a little wobbly, but we're still trying to get it. Like tonight, we just got done with an exhaust job and we sold those wheels and tires. So I still got to do the video, but you do have both accounts on the whole time. I haven't got it down pat yet where I can get in there and communicate, but I do try." Nelson said, "Hey, Big, fairy tale friend," said Ozzy Osbourne. Raccoon said, "Hi, hello." Dean said, "Howdy, sir." Howdy, Dean. How you doing? I got to fix that camera. Let's see. Daryl says, "How was your day, Randy?" Well, I had to do laundry today, and I hate that. I do have a washer and dryer for the building here, but I don't have it hooked up. And I had all my clothes was dirty, so it took me a couple hours to get them all washed and dried and folded. And oh Lord, it took the bigger part of the morning. I didn't like that. I had a lot to do. Then time I got back here, we worked on that exhaust and that tires, but it was a good day. Kevin said, "Laundry is hard, brother." It is. Nicholas said, "Hello, my friend." Hello, Nicholas. Waving and peace. Awesome. Carlos said, "I've got a support worker filling in for Safa today. Her name is Megan. First time meeting her. I'm nervous. Wish me luck, y'all." Well, good luck. Megan is actually Madison's sister's name. So maybe things will work out for you. Don't sweat it. As they say, don't sweat the petty stuff and don't pet the sweaty stuff. Dean said, "Doing good. Bucky and Annabelle drove up, are with me and my family hanging out by the fire." Awesome. Cool. John Deere said, "Don't stick a red sock in your white. It'll turn red." That's exactly why I don't wear white clothes. I have done it. If says, "He on here boyfriend hunting." I didn't know you were wanting me to look for you a boyfriend, but I'll be glad to, if you'll put your information out there, I'll be glad to hit up a couple gay sites and put you out there for them. Kevin said, "My mom does my laundry." Well, my mom hasn't done my laundry in, oh my gosh, close to 35 years probably, maybe longer. A lot of people wash whites and darks. I wash good and bad. Now I just wash them all together. It don't matter. But now I'm probably gonna have to wash jeans in one and then wash shirts and stuff in the other, because I do have dishwasher's not as big as my regular one. Randy says, "I tell you what, it sure is, I sure is tired. How's that thing drive with them new shoes on it?" This is my favorite YouTuber. Well, thank you. I think somebody's looking for you up here. Where is it? If Shames, I think y'all two need to hook up. Let's see. Liz says hi. Kevin said she's been gone for a month, so all my clothes are piled up in my room. Well, then now's a good time as any to learn how to wash. If you need me to walk you through it, I'll be glad to. Your mom be proud if you took care of your stuff. Daryl said R3. Liz said A. Randy says, hello, getting a touch of gas and back to driving. Drives great. Good. Dean said, Bucky's a good uncle and brother. He bought a four-wheeler for me and my son. Hey, he's just practicing for that little baby coming on, that little Reaper. Yeah, he seems to have a big heart, though. I know the Bigfoot and the Skinwalkers love him. Carlos said, what's up, R3? John Deere said, they are the same color as wash some cold water. Well, guess what, John Deere? Right now, they all going to have to be washed cold water because we ain't got hot water in the building. I get me a big old pot and an old stick and a fire, and I'll just go out there and do them the old style. What do y'all think? Could go down there at the creek. I mean, down at the Boggy's Pond down there and wash them. Shadow Band said, Bucky seems like a good dude. Yeah, he does. John Deere said, these trolls are getting washer and washer. What next? Oh, there ain't been but what, 2 in here so far? They good. They need to do something too. You never know. They may come in here and turn their life around and want to talk. Randy says, hey, Carlo, back to driving. Daryl says, I put an electric hot water heater in my shop. Well, I was thinking about going with a propane. That way I can just set it over there and, turn the propane on and off. I thought about getting a propane dryer and a propane hot water heater, but I don't know yet. I have been looking at them. Just a Cow says, tell everyone about this 16-year-old girl. Well, she just turned 16. She'll be 17 next year. Is that what you want me to tell them? Duke said, new sub here from, let me write that down. That way we can put you on the world map over here. I don't know about exactly what that is. I'll have to look it up, but let's see. Lucy said, yo, hello, Lucy. Lucy said, SpongeBob. Lotus says, hello, Lotus. Dean said, tell my wife and Annabelle are shopping with Bucky's card, and me and him are about to go hunting. Uh-oh. You be careful out there in the woods with Bucky. He's got a personal relationship with Bigfoot and some skinwalkers. Daryl says, Lotus. Just a Cow. Let's clean it up a little bit so you don't get your stuff deleted. Lotus said, what's up, Mike? Carlos said, what's up, Lotus? Duke said, New Mexico. All right. Let me write that down so that way I know where to look for it. But if you can't see what it is, we do have a world map. And we'll put a pin in there for you. Thank you for stopping in. Lucy says, I'm going ice skating at the Sharks Arena. Cool. Lotus said, what's up, Carlo? I see the sickos are here early. Yeah, they was just 2. Then they just jumped in all at one time. So I'm kind of hoping that it plays out and they go on about their business. Maria said, why I didn't get any notification? That I can't tell you. You should have. Lucy said, the other Lucy here? I haven't seen her yet. Lotus said, hey, Maria, the challenge, Republic says, oh, Mate, hello. Carlos said, yes, I'm here early, Lotus. Maria said, I'm going to sleep anyway. All right, be careful. Appreciate you stopping in. Lucy said, what are these sickos? This these trolls coming in saying gay stuff. They just trying to get a laugh out of somebody. Maria said, good night, everyone. Good night, Maria. Thank you for stopping in. John Deere says, having a good day, Daryl. Kevin said, thank you, brother. Lucy said, oh, that's not fun. No, but it comes with the territory. I would say if they wasn't pushing out so far, they wouldn't be coming in here. Lucy said, what's your favorite chip? Probably Pringles. I like cheese Pringles. Let's see. Daryl says, I was asked to do an instructional video for leaving intimidating school in Michigan. Oh, really? That's awesome, Daryl. I do enjoy watching and when you're doing stuff, especially when you take something flat and like I love watching that video where you done the dash in 10 cent. I love that. Daryl says, not too bad, Jacob. Carlos says, I like barbecue Pringles. They good too. Video Gamer says he likes dipping. Man, come on, Video Gamer. Let's have a good time. If you're gonna do that, just find another live, please. Lucy said, my favorite are Cheerios. Cheerios. Cheetos, sorry. I was trying to look at something else. Daryl said, I don't know what all it tells, but that's where Lucy, Hannah, and Matt are from. Oh, really? Cool. Maybe they'll get you a sponsor up there. I'd mentioned something to Matthew about it, about doing the burnouts and stuff. Maybe he'll get you a sponsor up there. Lotus says cheddar Pringles with ranch onion dip. You know, I've never tried the cheddar with ranch, but and you know something, I don't even think I've ever tried Pringles with dip. I do like the hell of a good dip, French onion dip. I do like that, but I like the wavy fry chips with them. But anyway, Lucy says I'm deciding if I should put my hair up or not when I go ice skating. If it gets in your way, put it up. I mean, you know, not trying to be funny, but that's pretty much the entail of it. Lotus says French. Oh, sorry. I read that ranch. I left the F off. Sorry about that. Ooh, I've never tried French onion dip. Sorry about that. I read a little too fast. Scott said, what's up, brother? Not much. Same old, same old. Hope you're doing well. Lotus said, ruffles are good too. Yes, they are. Carlos said, love French onion dip. Lotus with Ritz crackers. And you know, I ain't never tried it with Ritz crackers either. Y'all give me some ideas. Daryl says, I'll be back. Got to edit. All right, Daryl, I do understand. Thank you. Lucy said, what time is it for you? 6:21 p.m. Lotus said, never tried it with Ritz, but I love me some Ritz. I do too. Now, I do. The only cracker that I would rather have over Ritz is cinnamon. shit, I just drew a blank. Graham crackers, cinnamon graham crackers. I like graham crackers with peanut butter, but I really like the cinnamon. But I don't buy the. If you go to Sam's Club, you can get the big box of graham crackers, but you can't get cinnamon. So I normally get it without cinnamon. But that's if I would rather have that than Ritz. But outside of that, I'll take my Ritz. Lotus said it's burnout time. I don't even have enough tires to do burnout. We did pick up a couple tires the other day, though, that from when we took all those tires to the dump, somebody come in and to throw some away, and they were good enough for us to do a couple burnouts, so we threw them back on the trailer. We're going to mount them on tires, but we just been busy having. Right now, Randy's car is still sitting outside with the blown tire from New Year's Eve. Hopefully we get that fixed this weekend. Lucy said, wow, it's only 3:21 for me. Woo, in the a.m. in the morning or afternoon. Scott said, have a blessed day. You too, Scott. Thank you for stopping in. Lucy said p.m. Wow. Lucy said, poor car. Hopefully it hasn't rained there. We have had a little bit of rain, but the top does leak a little bit, but you know it's where the crash was, where whoever wrecked it. But it is a burnout car, so it's good. Lucy said, but that's because I'm in California. Yeah, I got to make a phone call to California. I need some order some parts. Lotus said on the tops on it. Oh, the tops on it. Yeah. It's convertible. It scrolls back into the back. We put the top up. Jane said Lucy's on West Coast. Jane said, hi, Lotus. Actually, hey, Lotus, I read that wrong. Boy, I'm in a world of mess tonight. Lotus said, wasn't sure if it worked or not. Oh, yeah, that car, actually, we could put tags and drive that car. Now, my car, I've taken the dash out and everything, but everything on that car works. It wouldn't be nothing at all to put that car back on the road. Lotus said, hey, Jane. Lotus said, why doesn't he? Mainly, he was going to before he got hurt. Mainly because we don't have the money right now. Randy's back to work now. We're going to get a lot more done than what we were before. But he was actually talking about putting it on the road and driving it to and from work some in the summer. And then, like I said, he got hurt when he had his accident. That put a stop to everything. Lucy said, who lives in the pineapple under the sea? SpongeBob SquarePants, woohoo! Lotus said, yeah, I feel the money thing. Well, I'm going to tell you something. Randy's been very fortunate over the years, but this is probably the worst time Randy's ever had. Not even talking about the accident, just talking about the effects of it. Randy's never been down this far with money. Not since he started working. Now, we've been this low before married, and him as a kid. But since he started working, he's never been this low on money. It's not been good for him. Lucy's laughing. Lotus said, a squad tard decent burgers. Squid tard. I'm trying to remember what the cartoon says. Lucy said, where's the other guy? We just finished the wheels and tires that we sold to his father-in-law, and he's taking the truck back to him. That's Randy, my son. And if you're talking about Justin, he's actually in Charlotte, a couple hours away, so he won't be here this weekend. Lotus said, being broke sucks. Yes, it does. Bob Lou Ray says, hello. Where are you from? I'm in Denton, North Carolina in the United States. Kevin says, you're a good man, brother. Well, thank you. Lucy says, oh, okay. Will he be back? Not tonight. Now, he'll be back tomorrow, and I'm hoping he's here for tomorrow's live, but he it's an hour to get from here to where his in-laws live, so he won't make it back tonight. He'll go home after he leaves there. Carlos says it's Safa's partner's birthday today. He turns 31. Cool. Tell him happy birthday. Dog said he just passed gas. All right. Lucy says, how do I turn on the bell? I think you go up there at the top and there's a little bell. You click it. It says notifications. And then it should tell on every time we go on or something or do something. John Deere said, hit the like button, please. Yeah, well, we got 18 and 22. That's pretty good for 6:30. Thank y'all. Lucy said, I just said that. Bob Lou says, good morning. Well, it's night for us, but if it's good morning for you, I'll tell you good morning. How you doing? The dog said Trump. I never got into the Trump motorcycles. They, a lot of people like them, but I just, they're all right bikes, I guess. I just never got into them. Lucy said, where I turn on the bell. Like I said, let's see. I don't know how your screen is set up. And I don't even see it on mine to tell you. Lucy said, I think. Lucy said, Lord, he said Trump, not Trump. I know what he said. Gary said, hello, my brother had a trumpet nice bike. Yeah, they were nice. I never got into them, but they were nice. Lucy said, I don't know if I did it or not. It should be a different color or than what it was when you clicked it. Jane says, hi, Gary. Lucy said, I'll try again later if it didn't work. All right. Gary says, hello, Jane. Let's see. Vic says, oh, it's me, and I like Fords. Lucy said, did that work? I don't know. Damn it. That battery's going to go dead. It keeps going off like that. Jane said, hi, Vic. The notification, the bell should tell you if we go live or we uploaded a video. So you won't know until our next live or our next video. We do put a video out every night, though, or every morning. Carlos says, hey, Jane, can you be my cougar? LOL. Vic says, NDP Projects. That's right. Vic says, hello, chat. Hope all is well. Paul says, hey, Railroad Man, good to see you and everyone here. Let's remember to pray for our country. That's right. Thank you. And I appreciate you coming in here. We will pray. John Deere said, really, Big Boy Toys? Lucy says, subscribe, y'all, and like. Yes, please. Help a brother out. Kevin said, good idea, brother. See, Lotus says, anybody smell desperation in the chat? Brandon said, G. John Deere said, that's what she said, Lotus. Lucy said, what's your favorite movie? I really don't have a favorite movie. I like a lot of action movies. I like car movies. I like a bunch of a variety of stuff. So I really don't have a favorite movie. Um, Philip says, "Would you murder your childhood best friend for $3.28?" Nope. No, my sister probably would not enjoy that very much. I would not want to murder her husband. Big said, "I'm out. You all stay safe. I just pooped for it to sack it out. All right. I just popped in for a second. Out. See you, Big. Thanks for stopping." Hampton says, "What a question." Lucy said, "My favorite is Maze Runner." Yeah, that's pretty good. Lotus said 3 million, maybe. Nah, I I don't I mean, I dislike a lot of people. Don't get me wrong, but I don't hate enough somebody. And there's very few people that I would want to unlive. There are a few that I would, if they never took another breath, it wouldn't bother me. But I wouldn't want to unlive them unless they started messing with me. I don't hate nobody. Well, there ain't but about three I hate bad enough to see that. Lotus said, W Speed. Carlos said, "Nah, I got plenty of beautiful Sandys friends. I'm not desperate." Hampton said, "America first and MAGA forever. God bless DJT." Hamptons, I appreciate your chat, and you're welcome to stay, but we don't do politics in here. But I agree with you, but we don't do it in here. We're here for a positive thing, and everybody comes in our chat. We don't talk politics or religion or any controversial subjects. Lotus said, I would miss him. Roscoe said, "Here we go." Is that Filthy Friday or 50 Friday? Filthy. Kevin said, "I love everybody, brother." Good. Lotus said, "Friend zone." John Deere said, "Hi." Roscoe said, "Got a break from the Gen Zs for a couple days." All right. Hampton said, "Choice, ravioli, or, man, I'll take beefaroni." But I don't know what that other one is, but I would probably take ravioli. Jane said, "Hi, Roscoe." Lucy said, "Hampton, I agree, but we got to respect everyone." That's right, Lucy. It's what we try to do here. We don't all have to like each other, but for these 2 hours, we're here to have a good time. Lucy said, Mancati, I don't know what it is, but Lotus said both. Lotus said, "How could you make that choice?" Easy for me because I don't know what one of them is. Lucy said, "I should try it. It's very good." Lotus said, "Minicata is long noodle stuffed with avocado paste." Oh, now I have seen that. I didn't know that's what it was called. Pasta with yeah, I know what you're talking about now. But I don't think I've tried it. Hampton says, Toyota Tundra versus Chevrolet. I do like Toyota Tundra trucks, but I'm going to take my Chevrolet and GMCs. Jane said, they both shell stuffed with deliciousness. Kevin said, "I'm sad today, brother." Why are you sad, Kevin? No use of being sad. 98% of the stuff you're sad about, you can't change, and you're wasting your other 2% being sad about it. So, that 2% you can't change right now, so don't worry about it. Be happy. Lucy said, you're one of my favorite YouTubers. This channel makes me happy. Well, good. I'm glad. Thank you. John Deere says, I'll pick Chevy in today. Lotus said, stuffed shells. Lotus said, Lotus said, I need Italian food now. Yeah. Hampton said, let's send Kevin ravioli. And there you go. Send it to him. Kevin said, my girlfriend is in Iran. They've blocked the internet there. I can't talk to her. Oh, man, that's bad. I hate that. John Deere said, I love lasagna, my favorite food. Other than my wife's lasagna, you won't see me eat much lasagna. Now, I will eat it a couple days, but I don't eat much lasagna other than that. Lucy said, you know what I want to eat? Chalupa. Frosty says, can you shout out my brother Nick? Hello, Nick. Roscoe said, damn, homie, make sure you retrieve her. Why the heck is she over there? Roscoe said, American flag. Had your channel on, you already got some banned, or you make another one, or you new to it? Or did you go into other people's lives and say stuff and get banned? Lucy said, don't listen to Frosty. That's what I'm saying. I saw what he's doing, but like I said, he just started his channel in November of 25, so either he got blocked or banned or something, he had to start another one, or he's just starting one making trouble. Lucy said, he's trying to make you say the never word. Lucy said, Lucy, pop nose. Lotus said, we know, not new here. Roscoe said, hope the air is open. Yeah, Lucy said, oh, okay, I'm sorry. It's all good. Roscoe said, at least. Carlos said, Lotus and I are having a secret, he's flying to Australia to meet me, the Summer Gnats, and beat my ass. Woo, all right. Can't think of how to say that name, but I think that's the name of my boat. It looks like the same spelling of it anyway. Lotus said, wish they would go away. Don't know why they have to mess up our community. And like I said, everybody's got something they think's funny. That's like the guys at work. They like doing what they call rage baiting, where they try to piss you off and push you right up to the last straw where, and they really like to piss you off. And I just don't think that's right. Why people got to do that. I mean, people come in and try to mess up this community, and other people try to mess up your day at work just to see if they can piss you off. And I just think it's wrong. John Deere said, it's slow today. Hugh said, hello, Randy. Hello, Hugh. Hugh said, hello, John Deere. Hello, Lotus. John Deere said, what's up, Hugh? Hugh said, hey, Roscoe. Lucy said, okay, IGTG, but see you guys next time. All right, Lucy, thanks for stopping in. I really do appreciate it. Lotus said, Carlo, you at least got one good pimp slap coming. You just said, hello, Lucy. Hello, Jane. Jane said, rendezvous. Is that what it's called? I'm about sure that's the name of my boat, the way it looks like it's spelled. Huh. Thank you, Jane. I didn't realize that. Anyway, you really spelled it weird. But Jane said, what's up, Hugh? Lotus said, also, Summer Gnats is in the U.S. this year at the Freedom Factory. Jane said, hi, Hugh. Hugh said, hello, Kevin. Lucy said, hi, Gran. Bye, Gran. Jane said, take care, Lucy. Jane said, yep. Hugh said, hello, Carlo. Lotus said, what's up, Hugh? What's up, Hugh? How are you? You said, how is everyone tonight? Doing good, good. I said, Kevin said, I'm always here for you, brother. Well, thank you, Kevin. Now do your laundry. We're here 2 hours. That's time for you to get your laundry done. Hugh says, I'll be better in about 18 minutes. John Deere said, doing good, just missing you, Hugh, live stream. Lotus said, actually, Carlo, we might have to play phone book. Hugh said, Lowell. Lotus said, or front backhand, front hand backhand. You're going to meet and then repeat. Hugh said, Shaq Mac. Yeah, LOL. Shamak. Carlos said, yes, I get the baton and you hold the phone book, Lotus. Jane said, what's the phone book? Never heard of it myself, Jane. Well, I've heard of a phone book, but I don't know the phone book game. We used to get them every year. I guess they quit making them. Everybody went to these cellular devices. I think there ought to be a listing for that. You ought to be able to look up people's cell number. Hugh said, you hold the phone book and I take a bat to it. Ooh, that would hurt. Hugh said, face or chest. Lowe says, I don't want to say. John Deere laughing. Jane said, I've never heard of that. Me neither, Jane. Hugh's laughing. Lotus says, I was just going to slap him with it. That's how us Americans show how much we care. We hit you with a phone book. You said you have to be a dumb kid. Lotus says, Yellow Pages, yeah, I remember those. You said we did stupid stuff. I think most kids do. Just some kids do stupider stuff than others. Carlos said it's an old police trick, Jane. Pioneer says, hi, Russian, hello. Hugh said, it hurts, but it keeps stuff from breaking bones, usually. John Deere said if Lotus hits him with the phone book, he is going to see numbers. Jack says, can I share my music with you? If it's clean music and stuff, I don't want to hear no bunch of BS. Carlos says, and no bruising, Hugh. You said the phone books were great in investigating tactics. Yeah. You said law. Law. Joe Bird said, "Hey guys, I'm back." Well, hello, Joe Bird. Welcome back. Jack says, "My band is Mercy and Endure." Cool. Lotus said, "Shock, sock, and grapefruit." Ooh. Let's see. I always heard of rubber hose, like a water hose. You said hello, Joey. Grandma said hi, Pops. Hello, Grandma. John Deere said, "What's up, Joe?" Joe Bird said, "Hey, Grandma." Grandma said, "Hi, babe." Joe Bird said, "Hey, John." John Deere says, "What's up, Grandma? I hope you're having a good day." You said, "Sock and a bar of soap if you're real mad." I've heard of that one. Joe Bird said, "Hey, Grandma." Grandma said, "Lotus." Jacob. Jane said, "Hi, Grandma." Tanner said, "What type of car do you drive?" We got a bunch of vehicles. I actually drive a truck, 2006 Chevrolet Intimidator. Our cars here's what I burn out with. I got a '93 Z28 Camaro. My son's got a '95 Z28 Camaro. That's what we do our burnouts in. We got several vehicles around the shop that we drive. You said hello, Lovey. Sorry. Joe Bird said, "Or a sock on a stick of butter and a stick of butter." Lotus said, "Hey, Grandma." Grandma said, "Thank you, Jacob." Joe Bird said, "Hey, Jane." Carlos says, "Hello, Grandma, sweetheart." Lotus said, he would eat the butter. Grandma said, "Hey, Joey." Joe Bird said, "Hey, Carlos." Hugh said, "Lord." Grandma said, "Hi, Big Boy Toys." Carlos said, "What's up, Joe?" John Deere said, "Buttersock." Grandma says, "Hi, Tanner." We didn't show them at 9 people, but we got 30 likes. That was good. Thank y'all. You said hello, Tanner. It is Friday, so it's usually pretty slow on Fridays. You said hit the like button, Lovey. You said LOL. Joe Bird said, "I don't think I'm going to go." Joe Bird said, "I don't think I'm going to go live." Why not? On Saturday. Grandma says, "I did." Yeah, I saw it go up when she come on. John Deere said, "Hit the like button, guys." Hugh says, "Lol." Like I say, call a friend, tell him to jump in. Joe Bird said, "Cause my yard is flooded." Yeah, that'd be bad. Lotus says, "Going to run, guys. Have a great night." See you, Lotus. Thanks for stopping in. I do appreciate it. John Deere said, "Saturday is Friday." Grandma said, "Joe, sorry, misspelled your name." Joe Bird said, "See you, Lotus." Grandma said, "You run, Lotus." Joe Bird said, "Your grandma, you're good, Grandma." Grandma said, "Aloha, Jane." In his defense, Jane, there was a few people that came in there, about 3 that come in, and only went up 1, so I think that's why he said it. John Deere said, aloha, Grandma. Hugh said, have an awesome night, everyone. Time clock is calling me. All right, you be safe. Thank you for stopping in. Y'all drive careful, and thank you. John Deere says, aloha means hello. Yeah. In Hawaii, right? Jane said, take care, Hugh. In search of says, why are we gathering here today? We gather here every day at 6 o'clock from 6 to 8. We sit in here and talk about good things and have good positive vibes. And everyone's welcome as long as they talk good, clean, and no politics or religion. John Deere said, good night, Grand Pedro Vic. Have a good night. John Deere said Spanish. Yep, Spanish. And in search of, it is a slow night tonight. Normally, I can't keep up with chat. Normally, we rolling pretty good, but for Friday night, we're doing good. Good. Randy, if you're still in here, let me know what Darren thinks of his truck. I know it's going to be dark, but nope. Everybody took a break. Everybody go get some ice cream. Lad says, hey, Daddy. Well, hello there. It's been a long time. So glad you stopped in here. John Deere said slow tonight. Yeah, it's Friday. A lot of Fridays. You know, people go out to eat with their family and stuff like that. So usually Fridays are kind of slow. Joe Bird said, I'm still here. It's showing 7 people in here. So, I mean, you know, it's not nearly like it normally is, but it's, we've had a decent turnout so far. It'll only be an hour into it. I know I've made a mess down here putting those wheels come in boxes and getting the wheels put on, the tires put on, the exhaust put on. I got a mess clean up in the morning. If I didn't have to make the video, I'd go clean it up tonight. But Jane said, what's the plans for this weekend? Well, I'm trying to figure it out exactly how I want to play the weekend. Because I had to do laundry today, I wasted several hours trying to get that done. But as far as tomorrow, I think I would like to see if I could get the power steering mounted on Fireball and maybe get a bracket made, put the alternator on. I really got to start getting back on the cars, but I do have to find a place for that washer and dryer and get it hooked up. I've got a lot to do. I need to take about 3 or 4 months off and try to catch up, but I think I'd run out of money. See, Jane said, I like those wheels R3 got for Darren. Yeah, they do look good. Now, for Darren, it'll be perfect. It's what he likes, I believe. I would like to have him wider for myself, and maybe a little bit a more aggressive tread pattern for that truck. But it did look good, and it should ride pretty good. See, John Deere said, not much for me hanging out with you guys and girls. Awesome. Jane said, you need to put the washer inside wall somewhere so it doesn't freeze. Yeah, it'd be inside the building here. It won't freeze in the building. Now, see, it don't get cold like here like it does there and stay cold. It has to get pretty cold in here to freeze the water inside the building. I ain't saying it can't happen, but we don't get usually that cold. It might freeze the outside spigots, but the insides normally don't. We don't get that kind of cold weather, especially if I can, throw a little bit of heat. Now at the house, it has got down and stayed cold for several nights, and then it will. But unless you've got a really open to air to it, we don't have that much problems with it here. Some people do, but Jane said, oh, that's right, you're south of me. Yeah. John Deere said, Lord, Grandma says, what I miss, I was taking the dogs out. Just talking about washing clothes and what we're doing this weekend. You got any big plans, Grandma? John Deere said, I hope you guys like the song I've been making. What do you think, Grandma V? John Deere, we are going to sit down and see if we can get that. I'll check that out tomorrow. We have been slammed trying to get things done, so we did not get to take any tires today. We did not get the trailer loaded, fully loaded, and there is a nail in one of the tires on the big truck, so I've got to get it fixed. Well, I got to fix it. Kevin says, I'm on your side no matter what, brother. Well, thank you, Kevin. I do appreciate it. It's nice to be needed and wanted, or wanted and not necessarily needed, but it is nice for somebody to care. That's what I like about these people on the channel here. Nobody expects anything. We're just, other than showing up and being friends to each other, nobody benefits from being here other than making you smile. See, Grandma said, yes, Sunday we have to go to my great-granddaughter's birthday party. She turns 2. Oh, that's awesome. Grandma says, hi, Kevin. Kevin says, hello, nice to meet you. Yeah, Kevin, Grandma is very nice, very sweet lady. Grandma said, yes, we benefit, we show love and understand. That's right. Well, that, you know what I mean. Most people want something from you, and material or something like that, you to do something, but that is, we're just here to have good vibes. Grandma said, thanks, Pops. Kevin said, yes, she's a good lady. Daryl says, I'm back. Grandma says, I'm back. Well, hello, Daryl. Welcome back. Lorette J said, shouldn't you be at work? Well, I don't. I work at the railroad, and I work 4 days a week. And on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'm here at the shop. So now I've done my job. We've done an exhaust job today, and sold a new set of wheels and tires, put them on the truck. So I think I deserve to take a break. What do you think? John Deere says, I love you guys. You're the best. Grandma says, thank you, Kevin. And Daryl says, 5 deviled eggs for snack tonight. Oh, man. That is one thing I do miss about the this Christmas. Normally, I have a whole plate of deviled eggs, and I'll eat them for days. But Justin did bring me 2, but that's the only 2 I had. Normally, I eat deviled eggs. When I'm making them, I'm eating 2 or 3, 4 or 5, and then when we go eat, I eat them, and then if there's any left, I'll eat them right up till, like I said, they don't last long at the house. Then usually you got deviled left over when the eggs, so I just put it on bread and make sandwich for a couple days. Man, that's good. LeJay says, yep, sounds good to me. Grandma says, wow, that's great, Mac. LeJay says, enjoy your time off, sir. Thank you. Kevin says, I have 8 eggs every morning. Woo! James says, I'm glad I'm not going to be in the same room as you tonight, Daryl. Grandma says, I love deviled eggs. Yeah, me too. Grandma said, LMAO, James. Steady says, free South Park Mexican. Okay, free them. I'll help you. What you want me to do? Daryl says, I carry protection in more ways than one. Ha ha. Anybody in here that has it, please hit the like button. John Deere says, yuck, deviled eggs. I like regular boiled eggs. You know, only thing you're adding is mayonnaise and mustard, don't you? That's the only thing you make deviled eggs out of. Just take mayonnaise and mustard and take the middle of the boiled egg and just squish it up, blend it all together. You just put mustard and mayonnaise in it, mix it up. The more mustard you put, the more of a tang you got to it. Jane said, Jacob, you like egg salad? Question mark. Daryl said, so why R3 leave early? He did the wheels on Darren's truck, and Darren lives about an hour away from here, so he left to take the truck to Darren, pick his truck up, and then, you know, it's an hour there, and then like 45, 30, a little over 30 minutes back to his house. So I think he's going to take the truck, and then maybe they're going to go eat, and then he'll go call it a night. And he was tired. He done worked, and then them tires really wheels whooped his butt because I had to leave. We bought the wheels to put on the truck and didn't even think about the lug nuts. So that was our first set of wheels we sold. So we didn't order lug nuts. And by not ordering lug nuts, we couldn't put the wheels on. So while Randy was getting everything switched around, I run down and picked the lug nuts up. So he was here by himself doing the work. So it worked on him a little bit. Daryl said, paprika and pepper. Yeah, now I don't add that. I know a lot of people do, but I don't add pepper or paprika. James said, I like to put onions and celery in the egg salad. Now, see, I don't eat egg salad. I know that's weird, but I don't eat egg salad. John Deere said, I'm not a salad person or vegetable. I like meat. Vegetables, just like meat eater and carrots and potatoes. That's it, Jane. Daryl said, I see. Daryl said, I don't put onions in anything. You never, I'm telling you, it's hard to see me eat onions. But in that soup the other night, you know, I had 4 or 5 bowls of that soup. And it had onions in it. And I did not, usually I'll pick them out, but I did not pick them out. Mainly I eat everything out of respect for Chester. But I can't stand an onion or cooked carrots. And I don't like tomatoes either. But I eat everything out of respect for Chester. And I'm going to have to admit, it was pretty good. John Deere says, I don't like onions either, Daryl. Daryl said, very rarely, Jacob. Grandma said, don't put onions on deviled eggs. No. Kevin said, celery is my least favorite vegetable. Grandma said, but I do put my egg salad, on my egg salad, but no celery. Gator said, hey, folks. Hello, Gator. Grandma says, hi, Gator. John Deere said, what's up, Gator? Grandma said, Gator. Sorry. Randy arrived at the in-laws. Skip says, Gator don't play no shit. That's right. Gator will take you out in the swamps. Don't mess with Gator, you won't come back. Jane says, hi, Gator. See, Gator said, friend killed himself this morning, so I'm just numb trying to get in better mood. Oh, I'm sorry, Gator. I know there's absolutely nothing we can do, but we'll be here for you if you need us. Jane said, Grandma Celery gives egg salad a nice crunch. Grandma said, no. She said she wants crunch, she'll eat potato chips. Jane says, oh, no, I'm so sorry. Carlos says, I'm back. Grandma said, I like peppers. Gator says, I got to go pick up the caddy block from his dad tomorrow. Ooh. Grandma said, who? Welcome back, Big Boy Toys. John said, I am here a year later and $1 million short. Sounds like me. Let's see. Lounge said, I like. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Grandma said, God bless you, Gator. Sorry you had a bad day. John Deere said, what are you doing tomorrow, Randy? I'm hoping to be working, cleaning up the shop, working on the Volvo, disassembling the Volvo and trying to work on the Camaro and finding a place for a washer and dryer. Elon said, I liked. Carlo said, thank you, Grandma. Gator said, yeah, the kid was 26, just horrible. Man, I hate to hear that. Grandma said, hi, John. Annie says, hi ho, people. Hello, Annie. Grandma said, hi, Annie. Carlos said, Jacob. I too, hey, boo. Daryl says, Gator, Annie. Revan X 20007. Oh, did I hear Camaro? Well, we got 4. Yep, we got some that we do some burnouts with. And he says, hey, Grandma. John Deere says, Big Boy Toys, hush with that. Nobody needs to hear that rude. And he says, hey, Mac, how are you, honey? Jane said, Gator, do we know why? Gator said, hey, Mac. Revise 2007 said, X. Also said, I love it. I got my first one last year. What model did you get? Gator said, no, but I'm falling into a bottle was part of fall. No, but falling into a bottle was part of it. Ooh. Elon says, I'm not a girl or a boy. I'm coconut. I'm a coconut. 2007 said, got a 2013 SS. We got a 2014 ZL1 red 6-speed. Daryl said, my son-in-law just started a channel. Cool. Let's see who. Let's everybody go over. Built Not Bought Workshop. I like that. I just subscribed. And he says, how are you, Pops? I'm doing great, Annie. Hope you are. Gator said, I sub Max. 2007 said, oh, I'm super jealous. Love the ZL1 and in the red. Oh, my. But now our other ones are, we got a 93 Z28 Camaro. We do burnout SWID. 95, we do burnout SWID. And we got another 95 that we got the motor out right now. We're going to build it for drifting. Grandma says, hey, Reva. John Deere said, Daryl, hey, Daryl, we can't click on it. Sorry. Oh, I clicked on it. It took me to it. Jane says, oh boy, that will sure cloud our outlook and judgment. That's awful, Gator. Suicide never makes sense. 2000 said, I love my Camaro. Those, yeah, we'd like to find, I'm wanting to find one off of the auction and swap the body or the drivetrain into a truck. Let's see. Gator says doing a live at the Gator Farm tomorrow, by the way. Cool. See, Daryl said, awesome. If you would leave him a comment saying I sent you. All right, done. I sent him one, told him that you sent me over and I'll be following along. 2007 said, heck yeah. Gator said, yeah, it sucks, Jane. 2007, if you haven't watched anything on the channel, we did a heck of a New Year's Eve burnout out here in front of the shop. And, well, it was 4 tires are history now. We actually blowed one. My youngest son blowed one of them. So if you got a chance, go back and watch them. Okay, Gator said, yeah, it sucks, Jane. Elown says, love a bunch of times. They love cats. Gator says, my heart is broken over it. I bet so, buddy. Grandma says, cool, Gator, I'll be there. Grandma said, so sorry, Gator. Thank you, said Gator. Daryl said, thank you. You tell him he's part of the family now. John Deere says, sorry, Daryl, I can't click on it. I'll show your son-in-law that thumbs up. Let me see something here. Let's go right here to this and see if I can, this. See if that'll help John Deere's. John Deere's. All right, let's see. See if that'll help John Deere, if that will. Elon said, this is my superpower. Cool. James said, it is built, not bought workshop. Yes, that's what it was. I've just put a link in there too. Daryl says, you can always copy and paste too. The real 42 says, don't tell no one I have a zombie in my garage. I'm doing an experiment. Let us know what happens about it. We like to get really involved in that kind of stuff. Daryl said, yes, Jane. Jane said 48 subs right now. Said Miro said no. I'll answer the question. I'm not going to read the comment. No. We don't need to be talking like that in here. So if you want to hang around, please do. But find another subject to talk about. Let's see. James said, "Don't tell Reaper he is a zombie." I know, right? John Deere says, "I'll just have to paste it and won't let me click it." No, sorry. Grandma says, "Hi, the real." The real says he was on the beach. Don't know, but I have videos. We won't. Your secret's good with us. Let's see. 7 Layers says, "Can you do any impressions?" I do a few little games, but I can't. It just has to happen. I can't think about it. Do it. See, Elon says, "Come here, mouse." No, it missed. Just a mouse trap. Uh, 8022 said, "This guy again." Well, welcome. I'm glad to see you back again. 8022 said, "Great attitude. I remember. I remember you too. Thank you." John Deere said, "Look, it's Pee Wee Herman." Hello. I've done my bicycle. Hunter said, "America is great. Is a great country." Sorry, I read that wrong. 14 people, 37 thumbs up. 8022 says, "Look at the great attitude. I try to have one." That's the whole good thing about it. This whole channel needs to be positive and great attitude. Ching says, "Lowell, no impressions. I've seen you act like a nuclear power plant about to blow a time or two." Yeah, we won't talk about those days. 8022 said, "What business are you in? I want to be a customer." Well, we do sell tires, wheels, dabble in exhaust. That's what we do here. Now, we both work for the railroad full time, but we'll sell you a set of tires, set of wheels, and if it's not too entail, we'll fix your exhaust. Coming soon, I'm hoping, is spray on liners. Elon said, "Yes, I got Who Wants the Oof Mouse." Oof Mouse. You got him. Cool. John Deere said, "Hi, hello." Hello, John Deere, how are you? Grandma said, "I was at the hospital last night with real bad pains on my back and legs and arms. Been cramping a lot." Oh, that's not good. I hope everything's turns out good. In Search says, "What do you think happens when we die?" I don't. I really don't know. I know. Say you go to heaven or hell, but as far as what you do when you go there, I don't know. Undecided. We've talked about this, and I've asked you to think of a different subject to talk about, and I did answer your question, but now you are timed out. So if you do come back, talk better, please. And he says, "Hey, Olivia just texted me. I hope everything's all right." Elon says, "There you go, Cat." Banana Man said, "Hey, I'm back." All right. Corbin said, "The Panthers make the playoffs." I don't think so, but I don't know. I don't watch football. Grandma said, "They did blood work and they said my electro was good, but have a real bad pulled muscle." Ooh. In Search of said, "Favorite band." I don't I don't listen to a lot of music, so I really don't have a favorite band, to be honest with you. I like all kinds of music. Grandma said, "Hi, Olivia. Exceptionally bushy said, would you ever let your daughter drive a?" I don't know what that is. I don't have a daughter, so we ain't got to worry about it. Banana Man says, I am Oogly Googly, but just changed my name. Oh, okay. Hello, Oogly Boogly. Oogly Googly. Sorry, not Boogly, Oogly Googly. I like Oogly Googly. But Elon said, Eclown said, I gave the cat the mouse. Grandma said, hi, Banana Man. Banana Man says, I'm not you. Yeah, I knew. I knew what you meant. John Deere said, hit the like button, guys, please. Yeah, that'd be nice. We got 18 people, 37 thumbs up. Olivia said, show me your eye, old man. Show me your eye, old man. Olivia said, hey, Grandma, John Deere's, what's up, Ghost? Banana Man says, me, I'm going to change that back real quick. Olivia said, John. Carlos said, what's up, Olivia? John Deere says, see, Daryl says, Ghostly, how you doing? See, Olivia said, they are ocean eyes. Thank you. Won me $50. Cool. Glad I could help. Olivia said, hey. Carlos said, poop. Brown shit. Olivia says, everyone. Rusty says, hi, Randy and Gain. Hello, Rusty. See, Raymond says, what's up, Stone Cold Steve Austin sitting here drinking it cool? Yeah. A Pepsi. Daryl said, Rusty. Olivia said, Boggy kept saying to her eyes were gray. Your eyes were gray. Rusty said, hi, Mac. Grandma said, hi, Rusty. Rusty says, yeah, hi, Grandma Vic. And I said, a mosquito. Ooh, be careful. Gator said, so what's the plan? Tonight, I'm going to put Daryl's, well, Daryl don't have a premiere tonight, does he? Well, I'll be able to, once we end this, I'll be able to do the video and get to bed early, and then maybe tomorrow jump up and early and try to get some stuff done first thing. Jane said, hi, Rusty, how was your day? Olivia said, it's weird. Carlos said, fake, 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 fake. John Deere said, is everybody behaving today? Oh, yeah. Olivia said, and empty. Rusty said, good, Jane, thank you. How about yours? Daryl said, yeah, I do. You do have one. Okay, never mind. I couldn't remember. You hadn't said anything about it. It's well, tomorrow night you normally don't have it. In that case, I'll be in Daryl's premiere doing the editing and the video at the same time. John Deere said, what are you talking about, big boy toys? Rusty said, hi, big boys. Rusty said, hi, John Deere. Carlos said, what's up, Rusty? John Deere said, what's up, Rusty? Olivia says, who you calling fake? Carlo? I'm not going to delete it. I know that. I mean, hide it. Grandma said, see y'all at my Aunt Max. All right, Grandma, thank you for stopping in. Y'all drive careful going home. John Deere said, hit the like button, guys. That's a good job, John Deere. That got me one more. Olivia said, bye, Grandma. Elon says, get the mosquito. Yes, get him. Old bloodsucker. Vlog says, you're cute. Well, thank you. Grandma says, good live, Pops. Thank you. Have a great night, and God bless you and the family. You too, Grandma. Thank you. Elon said, gee. Jane said, Pops, you're cute. Well, thank you, Jane. Vlog says, you're welcome. Carlos says, I'm calling the trolls fake. Grandma said, good night, everyone. God bless you all and your families. Thank you. Jane said, take care, Grandma. Southeastern Train Lover said, the thumbs says simple test. Yep, I agree with you. I like to see the thumbs go up. If you hit it on your end, that'd give me 40. John Deere said, okay, big boys, toys, I hate trolls. Elon said, attack cats. Rusty said, night, Grandma. John Deere said, you too, Grandma, have a good night. John Deere said, you too, Grandma, have a good night. I just read that. Southeastern Train Lovers smiling with hearts. 14 people, 39 thumbs up. Carlos said, no problem, Jacob. Jane said R3 didn't have to work today. Yes, he worked today. He worked and got here about 2 or 3, something like that. And then we put the wheels and tires on that truck and did an exhaust job, and then he headed on to take the truck to his father-in-law. John Deere said, hit the like button, guys, please. Olivia said, these trolls, I want one. I need my Walmart people meat. I'm starving. Woo! I had me a milkshake, a double cheeseburger, and a fry. I eat way too much. Jane says, hi, Olivia. And Olivia says, hey, Jane. Jane said, how's the weather out there? She said, cloudy with a chance of meatballs. And Lau said, a wing. Red Bull gives you wings. John Deere said, Pee Wee Herman, do you know any good jokes? Randy, no. Oh no, I don't know no jokes. I just ride my bicycle. Jane said you guys are about 90 minutes north of where you was when I was out there. Olivia says I haven't ate much. Elon says, who wants a chicken wing? I do. I do. I take one. Man, after you saying that, good thing Zaxby's isn't close. I'd go get me some. John Deere said, you make me laugh, Randy. That's what I'm here for, buddy. That's what she said. Carlos said, where do bees go to the restroom? The pee station. I like it, Carlo. Jane said, I went to the store today. Finally, I hate going. I haven't been since 12/18/25. Elon says, there you go. Awesome. Thank you. Just the way I like them, too. Finger licking good. I got something on my shirt. That's not fair. I'm not like that. I gotta look up the weather, see what the weather's supposed to be tomorrow. Okay, Google. What's the weather for tomorrow in Denton, North Carolina?
In Denton, there'll be light rain with a high of 67 and a low of 47.
Great. Rain. I'm not like that. John Deere says, you're funny. Make big toys. Elon says, I have shake YWY. I have shake. Steak. Yeah. I'll take a steak. John Deere says, dang it, autocorrect. I'm a big boy toys. John Deere said, dang it, autocorrect. Carlos says, Jacob. See, Elon said, why do I get into running? Why do you get into running? I don't know. Some people like to run. Some people like to run away from whatever they're running from. Get you time for your mind to clear. Jane says they were calling for storms and strong winds today. Nothing. Dang. Elon said, there you go. Well, thank you. I do appreciate it. Time I eat that, I'll be full with the chicken wings and the steak. Rusty said, wind is terrible here. They got you wind, Jane. Jane said, good morphers when you run. See, Olivia says, "Oh my God, stick a tiny turbo your and spun with the farts or something. I joined to forget life feels dull at the moment. Gosh. Well, we hope things will get turned around for you, Olivia. Remember, every minute that goes by, that's 1 minute behind you." John Deere says, "Hit the like button, guys, please." Let's see. Leon says, "I'm eating pizza right now." Man. Chicken wing, steak, and pizza. Man's got it going on. James said, "Olivia, one of Gator's friends died by suicide today." Olivia said, "Do a backflip then." I wished I could. Olivia said, "I heard it isn't easy. I bet not." Terp says, "Old muscle cars don't do fuel efficiency. They do fuel commitment." Yeah, that's exactly right. If you got to ask what the fuel mileage is, you don't need the car. 14 people, 39 thumbs up. See, Jane says, "Law, right?" Terp says, "Love my local officer's gas station. We got race fuel at the pumps." We do have a station here that's got race fuel at the pumps, and then we got a place where I get my off-road diesel. They got racing gas. I told them I was going to come by and get some of that racing gas, see what it done in my car. Libby said, "Gosh, Pop, so lazy." And I says, "A floating man." James said, "Back when I ran around, we didn't worry about that. Gas was 27 cents per gallon." What year was that, Jane, at 27 cents? I remember, the cheapest I remember is 79 cents. That was for regular. You know, they don't have regular anymore. 1973. Wow. So I was born then. I would have never believed it went up that much from, like I said, the cheapest I remember gas was 79 cents. So that would have been, let's see, I was born in, I got my license in 84, I think. So somewhere in the low 80s is what I started remembering gas prices, I think. See, Terp says, "What's your favorite, what was your very first car when you were young? Also, best memory with it." My very first car was the 1977 Toyota Corolla. The memory is not really the best memory, but that's the car that I went into a curve and hit my brakes and slid around and hit the ditch, and it rolled over on its top. And we rolled it back over on the wheels, pushed it over the parking lot, let the oil drain down into the motor, and then backed into the bottom of the motor, then cranked it up and drove it home. Daddy made me buy that car. Told me, he laughed about it. He asked me, "Was I okay?" I said, "Yes." He laughed and said, "All right, boy, you owe me $1,000. So I had to buy it. And I guess the best memory would be the a family member used to pick on me and make my face turn red. He started calling me the Kool-Aid Kid, so that's what I was going to name the car. But I ended up getting rid of it. Let's see. Elon says, thank you. So Olivia said, I want to do 1,000 things at once. That's the way I am every day, Olivia. I got so much stuff to do. That's the reason I like doing a list, because I'll forget half the stuff I need to do. Olivia said, thank you, Spider. Jane said, how much was it then, Pops? Like I said, the cheapest I remembered is 79 cents. Now, I don't remember it. When I was getting gas, I remembered it easing up to $1.99, but I don't remember much after that. That was in about the mid 80s. I remember, seemed like I remember going to $1 and then like $1.27, but then it's like it went skyrocketed after that. John Deere said, hit the like button, guys. Molsenberg said 1983 Buick Regal. Damn, I missed that car. My mom and them had a 82 or 83 blue with the 301 motor in it with the spoke wheels. That was a good riding car. Daryl said, I remember when I got mine in 87, gas was like 80 cents. When I got mine in 87, gas was like 80 cents. Mossberg said, blew up on 95. Terp said, oh man, thanks for the chuckle. Glad you walked away from it. Yeah, it was a hard day, but Daddy really laughed at me. Daryl said, Randy, you're going to like the logo for my burnout car. You going to show it to me, or I got to wait? You going to send it to me? John Deere said, never mind, it's back. Olivia said, Pops, we're giving you a Lobotomy. What is that? Elon says, Papa, why I'm running? I don't know. John Deere said, hit the like button, guys. James said, Pops, my parents rented from grandparents. I remember when rent was like $25 per month to $50 per month. I thought my mom was going to blow a gasket. I bet so. But now, at the same time, if you look at the inflation and all that, I wonder how close dollar for dollar it is. You know, you say went from $25 to $50 per month. I wonder in economy wise what that is on today's money. Because when rent was $25 to $50, I would say minimum wage wasn't but a couple dollars probably, because when I started working, minimum wage was $4.25. I believe either $3.25 or $4.25. Oh, I like that, Daryl. Oh, that's cool. And show me the devil eggs. That's not funny. John Deere said, really, we had 39 and somebody took back light. Well, I'm still showing 39, but you know what'll happen. John Deere said, never mind, it's back. Livy said, Pops, we're giving you a lobotomy. Okay. I done read all that. Livy said, we were disconnecting your frontal lobe and making you passive. Oh, okay. Long said, who wants spaghetti? That sounds good. Jane said, I think it was dirt cheap. Grandma only collected enough to pay taxes and insurance. That's what Chester was telling me when he was running around. You didn't get money. You raised what you had. You know, people from town would come to them and get eggs and everything, and they'd kill a hog and sell them bacon and stuff like that. But you really didn't have a lot of money and stuff. Everything you worked for and you made your own. He said the only thing they bought was like flour and stuff like that, so they could make stuff at the house. Everything else was they raised and made. Let's see. Daryl says it was 3:25 when I started working. Still have my first pay stub. Cool. Olivia said, AKA, we're fingering your brain till something happens. Oh, yeah. Elon says, have your grandma. News said, Hitler. Jane said, I made $1 per hour for my first official job. I think my first job was either $3.75 or $4. I can't remember. Daryl said 39 minutes tonight. Then it says, where grandma? She had to go. She usually picks up Hugh and drive home. Daryl says, gross. Olivia. Carlos said, banana here in Australia, dollar a keg. Olivia says, I'm bored and you want to go home, Mac. Thrust, this place is hell on wheels. John Deere said, hit the like button, guys. Jane said, are you staying for 2 weeks, Olivia? Daryl says, or buy a cooler car and drive. Olivia says, yeah, next Saturday, not this Sunday. Next Sunday, not this Sunday, is when we leave. Somebody playing around took that like button back. Carlos said $7 a kilo. Spike said, I see you sporting a good fight, brother. Are you coming down to the rally in Grape Horn this weekend? I don't know if I'll make it. If I do, I'll be a little late. Now said, who wants to drink a baby milk? Let's see. Spike said, you don't like Grape Horn? I got something come up. I was coming, but I got something coming up, man. I'm sorry. I thought I was looking forward to seeing you. Jane said, no thanks. Pepsi will do. You know I'm going to have my Pepsi, Jane. Ten minutes. 10 minutes. 10-minute warning, everybody. Need 3 likes. Can you call a friend? Spike said, don't worry about it, brother. I love Grape Horn so much, I'll be looking it up all the time. Cool. Daryl said, I've been stuck on 71.99 subs all day. Spike said, my whole search history is Grape Horn. It's going to be funny for you. To be honest with you, I have no idea what you're trying to say there. I know it's probably some hidden agenda, but Spike Grape Horn, get it right. Stop reading him. Oh, is that what it is? Oh my gosh. Daryl said he's a troll. Well, you the man, I guess. Daryl said, say now. Yeah, it don't surprise me. Glad I don't know what he's talking about. People got that kind of stuff on their mind. Let's see. Well, that's the reason I try not to say exactly what they're doing. That way I don't quite fall into what they're saying. So, but anyway, Daryl says basement swillers. Yeah, he got his fun in. It seemed like he'd at least hit the like button, don't you think? John Deere said they hit the like button, guys. Jane said, stupid people. Stupid is as stupid does. Just remember, life's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get next. Livy said, hey, Basement 12, your mommy is calling you for dinner. My mama done cooked dinner, thank you. And Al said, I'm not a man or a woman. I'm a coconut. Whatever you say. Like I told you, we don't do controversial subjects in here. If you want to be a coconut, you be a coconut. But, hey, if you don't hear, I'm home. I got about 7 more minutes. I was going to let you know that I was hoping to hold out and get 2 more likes so I could at least finish with 40. But I do have 7 minutes. Daryl said, I'm going to try and make more songs. I want to do another video with all Mac music. That would be cool. That's what Randy and I was talking about doing a while back. But we haven't done it. John Deere said, what up, Randy Jr.? I'm glad you made it home. Levy said, hey, Randy, can we give you a... Jane said, hey, R3, we were told when you arrived at Darren's, did he like them? Yes, he never answered me, did he? He must not have been listening. Jane said, no, he did. I don't know if he liked it. I don't think he said anything. More back said, try for at least an hour. Randy said, oh, Olivia, he wasn't there. Randy said, hey, JD. And I said, who wants all that? I'll play along. Olivia said, hey, Google, what time is it?
It's 7:55 p.m.
John Deere said, hit the like button, guys, please. Olivia said, no, Tandy, I'm giving your brain a fingering. Olivia said, till something happens. Well, I got 5 minutes. It's showing 40. If I could get 1 more. Oh, there it went. That means I'll end with 40, so thank goodness. That'll give me, as long as they don't start disappearing. John Deere said, yay, look at the like button. Yeah, I see it. It's showing 41. That means I will end the live at 40 if nobody takes any back. Elon said 6:55. Well, it's 7:55. Olivia said 7:55. Oh, I hate this place. It's literally 4:55 here and it sucks. Olivia, smile and make the best of whatever situation you're in. That's all I can tell you. That way, the more negative you look for, the more negative you'll find. Jane said, Olivia, you didn't think you were going for an artery, did you? Carlos said it's 8:56 on Saturday morning here. Daryl said, ask Google if Google and Siri had a kid, what would they name it? Okay, Google. If Google and Siri had a kid, what would they name it?
They would likely name it Geary or Pixel. Would you like me to come up with more tech-inspired baby names?
No, thank you. It would be either Gary or Pixel. Olivia says, I too want to go home. This place is killing me. Jane said, Olivia, why did you guys plan on staying so long? John Deere said, 7:57 over here. Elon says, who's hungry? Mormax laughing. All right, everybody. Levy said, I don't know, ask Boggy. We would, but Boggy's not in here. If Boggy was in here, I'd have one more like. But anyway, I'm going to jump on off here. They give me a minute or two to go to the bathroom right quick for Daryl's premiere. So y'all jump over to Daryl's premiere and watch. I think he said something like 39 minutes long or something like that tonight. So y'all have a good night, good day, whenever you're watching this, and wherever you're watching this. Enjoy where you're at. You never promise the next minute, so enjoy it. Y'all have a good day, good night, and keep it silly. Thank y'all.